Alessio, would you eat fish and chips sourced from the Thames?
No, thank you.
Joining me from across the pond in the UK, in London, off the shores of the famous River Thames, which we'll be talking about, is Alessio Checconi. He's a micro-paleontologist and a mudlarker. He'll explain what that is, a mudlark. His day job is at a marine drone company. It's fascinating that you took this on during the pandemic, sir. How are you?
I'm very good. Thank you so much for having me.
We all have such a tormented history with the rivers. We're dependent on them, dependent on it, but we've also treated it like an open sewer, and it could not have smelled great, or you have to put gloves on. Tell me about that first impression.
It's strange that a smell that for many, is unpleasant. Once you become familiar with the place and you associate it to adrenaline and excitement and finds, becomes a familiar smell. Not that you like it, but becomes something you get acquainted to and it reminds you of good times. They're called penny lick. And if you were a Victorian and wanted to buy an ice cream, you didn't get them in a cone like today, but you would go to a shop that was selling this sort of slush. They would put it on this tiny container made of glass. You would lick it, pay a penny, give it back to the person. And without cleaning it, another scoop would go and another customer would come. So imagine the amount of germs and bacteria that were, transported.
Humans, for time immemorial, have been attracted to rivers. They wanted to be there. They needed the water. They needed the marine life. They needed proximity to that fresh water.
If you think about the big civilizations that we have in Europe, think about the Romans. They built their civilization around the Tiber. Or look, when Paris was inhabited way before the Romans, again it was around the Seine. And London, the first permanent settlement in London was by the Romans on the first century, and the city was called Londinium. And for those that have visited London and have an idea of the map, where you see today London Bridge, it's just on the northern side. That was the first settlement.